Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's King Quba here, CEO of Limitless Attraction ENT. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, of course. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe with your friends, family, girlfriend, boyfriend, uncle, aunts, cousin, brother, sister, mother, father, whatever, grandparents, whoever like you to and everything. But yeah, of course, just thank you for tuning in overall. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for supporting me for so long. Real fast though, we got some things to talk about, okay? And this story here, this story right here is one of my most memorable stories that it helped me come out my comfort zone. Okay, it helped me come out my comfort zone, and it told me something. It taught me something as a young man. Okay, and this story right here, we was probably about 11, 12 years old. About 11, 12 years old, and I was out. It was one night when I was in West Philly. And I was out with my homies and stuff. And you know, when we was young, we didn't have nothing to do. So we were, we used to do outlandish bad stuff. We used to, everybody had a story, a background, right? And one time we went out and we was like, yo, let's go flash some women. If you know what I mean. That was like, yeah. So we was like, yeah, let's go flash some women. And we was doing this stuff, and people was making comments. Someone just walked by. We was like, "Hey, ladies!" We was like doing that, right? And we was like, "Let's go flash it." So, we went to one of them. She was like, "Oh, need some growing." She was like, "Oh, need some growing." We was doing it, so we was just constantly doing it, right? Being bad, just doing bad stuff and stuff. Then we went to this one lady. And we went to her. She was like walking down the street smoking a cigarette. She looked like real like hippie-ish or something. I'm not sure, but she definitely was crazy or something. So we went there and we flashed her stuff, and she was like, "You motherfuckers are," she was just doing that stuff. So we ran off and started laughing, messing with her. She was laughing and stuff. So she did that. So next thing you know, we ran off and everything. We were still down the street. Next thing you know, the police happened to drive by her. And she stopped the police. And we was looking. We was like, yo, there go the cops. We turned around and we stopped the police. They looked. So we started to run. That was the first thought. We were all going to run. And, but it didn't happen. We didn't run for some reason. So I guess, it was just a lesson learned for us. But we didn't run. So we went. She told the cops. The police hurried up and drove down. And she pointed us out and everything. We was down the street, so the police drove down. And they looked. And they looked at us and said, "Hey, come here real fast, kids." Boom, bam. They turned, pulled on the curb. So we stopped. We went over to them. We didn't stop at nothing. We didn't run or nothing. So we stopped, went over to them. We sat down. And what happened was we sat down. They went and asked some questions. They called it backup, I guess. And at the time, we were only 11, 12 years old. So I'm sitting thinking like, okay, well, y'all calling it back up. We are about 11, 12 years old. We could be reckless. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. We could be reckless. We all some colored young men. At the same time, you guys are colored too, because the police were colored. It was a mixture of color and, Caucasian, whatever the case may be. So it was a mixture of them. And they sat us down. We sat down on the corner. They called back up. One of the cops came, went to the lady that we flashed. They asked her, did she want to press charges? They was talking to her and stuff. And she was like, she said no. By the grace of God, man, she said no. All right? She said no. And I just remember one of them, like one of the officers, he was a dark-skinned guy with glasses. Real, kind of chubby, fat motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Fat motherfucker. He just fat and chubby and shit. And, and he came and he was like, what did he say? He was a boy, if y'all was my kids, I would have whooped y'all ass when y'all got home. He said, what the fuck is y'all doing out here? Would y'all like it if I pulled my shit out on y'all mothers? And we started grinning, like me and my homie started grinning and stuff. And we was about to do it because we was like, it was a little funny and stuff. But they asked the lady, she wanted to press charges. And she came over, she wanted to talk to us real quick. and they was asking, they was like, yeah, now we asked her if she want to press charges, okay? And she said no. The officers was saying it and stuff. So, she was like, no, I'm gonna press charges. She was like, 'cause I don't have time for that, okay? And she was like, you guys should have some better things to do. You should have better things to do. Okay, you guys shouldn't be doing those things. You should be much better pray people. And I heard her. I heard her. I wasn't gonna sit there and say she was wrong or nothing. And she didn't press charges. They talked to us, asked for our names, information, and things of that nature. We got in the car, in the back of the cars. I think it was 4 of us. Two of my homies got in the car, one cop car. The other 2, it was 2 of us got in the car, one cop car. The other 2 got in the other cop car, and they took them home or whatever. So, one of my, 2 of my homies was twins, you know what I'm saying? And my other homie, he's my homie. He's a Cancer like me, you know what I'm saying? He's solid. He's a Cancer like me, whatever. We both same animal spirit, all that good stuff, but no stuff. But we did that, and it's crazy because we was like, they drove us home, and they drove him home first because he lived closer, coming from the direction he was coming from, so he lived closer. Then we drove up to, they drove to my house. So they went in the house, told our parents and all that. It was so crazy though, that night, it was cold. It was cold at night, probably was like fall, probably October 2004 or something like that around that time. It was fall. We drove, they came. When they pulled up to my block, man, our neighbors were outside, man, like a couple doors down, next door, like the neighbors. And not only that, it was the neighbors that we knew. Like, it was the neighbors that knew me, they knew me because I was my mother's son. They knew my mother. They knew my sister's father. Like, they knew everybody. So it was like kind of embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of embarrassing and stuff. But one thing for sure, that wasn't a situation I regretted. Now, I'm going to tell you, that was an embarrassing moment. My mom was like, yeah, what's going on? So I held that lie because it was so embarrassing that I held that lie. Like, I would have took it to the grave with me. I held that lie, but I was like, you know what? Like, it was like older than us, so I didn't care. But I would have held that lie at that time because I was the fact that, like, if nobody was outside, I probably would have just told her the truth. But the fact that people was outside and knew us, that hurt it, man. Like, it was crazy. So, but I'm just, I was scared. Like, I was like really nervous when the cops grabbed us. Like, I was nervous. I didn't know what was next, man. But that was so embarrassing. So we went in the house. They told my mother, was like, yeah, your son was out there flashing the guys, whatever the case may have been. And then my mom was like, she was just looking at me crazy. She took away my, that was a hurt piece, all right? She took away my PS2 controllers. She took away my GameCube controllers. She said, no video games for you. All right, she hit me up. She went upside my head. That was going to happen. She went upside my head and stuff. But that was a learning experience. That was a learning experience for me. And what I learned from that was I've always been that person that's always been outside of his comfort zone. Like, I was never afraid to do what everyone else was afraid to do. That was like kind of outlandish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never afraid to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never afraid. And I think that's why, like, my homies loved me so much because, like, I would do something and, like, it was just like, oh, okay, something wrong with this guy. He's crazy, right? I would do those type of things. But, hey, like, hey, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. But, we went out there. Like, it was crazy because, I think I was so inspirational towards my homies that my homies started, like, when they see me do certain stuff, they would start to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I went on my comfort zone, it was like a leader. It was like, follow lead, like, do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if they see me do something that they wouldn't do, they would start to do it because they see me do it. Like, even my uncles, like, I got uncles that I'm older than, and they would do stuff that they see me do. But I learned from that, though, I was like, if I can get out my comfort zone and do something like that and damn near get in trouble for it, I can definitely do anything in this world, you know what I'm saying, and step out of my comfort zone and be successful at it. I can do everything. Like, I feel uncomfortable right now doing this video, you know what I'm saying, because, a lot of people don't have self-love for themselves. A lot of people don't like their faces in cameras. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like their faces in cameras. A lot of people don't like taking pictures because they don't, they might feel like they didn't look a certain way. Me, personally, I find myself sexually attractive, handsomely attractive, beautifully attractive, you know, attractive. You know what I'm saying? I just found myself that, but that was a moment that taught me something like that. I could step out my comfort zone, do anything to become successful. You know what I'm saying? But that night though, that's just one of the nights in my younger years when I was young that I never forget. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was young, coming up, I really was bad. You know what I'm saying? It was like I had a crazy childhood. So that was like one of my like crazy stories. You know what I'm saying? Now these guys, I'm going to send these videos to these guys, and they'll probably get a laugh out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because they remember too. They remember that time. They remember what happened. I had a history with coming up in the childhood. I grew up in West Philadelphia. You know, that's where I came from. So, but we had that moment though. That was a crazy moment. You know what I'm saying? Funny moment or like, but yeah, it taught me a lesson though, and that's something I thought about. Like that was something I thought about. I like when I was younger, I regretted it. But when I got older, I was like, man, like nothing happened, nothing crazy happened. I could have got arrested and stuff, but it's like at this point, I don't care. Who cares now? You know what I'm saying? And it told me it's just like, and that was one of my things. Like I was just always the guy that was just stepped out of my comfort zone. I think that's why everybody like people gravitate towards me. That's why I think why people like me to this day, because I'm not afraid to do something that everyone else may be afraid to do. Like I'm not afraid to walk up to someone and say something that they might not see coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to do that. So that's my thing. I'm not afraid to smile. I'm not afraid to wave. I'm not afraid to speak to someone overall. Just cause I don't care if they look mad, miserable. If they continue to be mad, miserable at me, they're just going to continue to be that way. But I'm not going to let that affect me. You know what I'm saying? My attitude and who I am, things that I'm not going to let that affect me as a human being. So yeah, but that was a moment. That was a moment right there. Great moment. But I'm gonna tell you guys though, if you was the person that was afraid to do certain things in school, or if you was already a person that everybody knew and loved and gravitated to in school or whatever you were, I think you're on the streets or whatever the case may be, keep doing you. Keep being incredible. Just make sure you're doing it in the right way, in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't a positive moment, but I turned it into a positive because I knew I could do whatever. Now, thank you guys for watching this video, of course. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, of course, with your family, friends, whatever the case may be. This is King Quba, baby. King Quba, from CEO of Limitless Attraction, ENT, baby. Signing out right now. Peace, passion, prosperity, and love to you all, guys. And God bless. Hey everyone, just want to thank you all for watching, tuning in. Again, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Of course, I'm going to keep giving you video after video. We're going to go to nothing but to the top, guys. Thank you for all the love and support you've been giving me. I appreciate you. Appreciate you to the day I'm in the grave. God bless. Peace, passion, prosperity, and love.
你好，你好，yes sir, baby. Yeah.